Jay here, Stretford Paddock, and I've just gone live. Hopefully, you can see me. Sorry about the delay there. I've had to sort of rush over from Media City. I was doing something over there, talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, and then all of a sudden, I'm getting all these phone calls. My phone's going berserk. Everyone's saying, "Oh, have you heard the news?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course I've heard the news. Cristiano Ronaldo's leaving. Of course I've heard. You know what I mean? I know the news." I was like, "No, mate, no, forget that. The Glazers are going." I'm like, "What? Stop it. Hold the front door. Surely that can't be happening." Well, it looks like it is. Everyone, get involved in the chat and the comments. I want to know what is going on. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know, do you believe that this is really happening? Solvik Bhattacharya says Glazers must go. Additionally, our club must not be state-owned. I agree with all that. I'm going to get into the statement, right? We've had a statement, or not a statement, sorry, a news story. The news article that I've seen and that probably all of you've seen, and this has come from Sky, right? So I'm going to read this out, and then obviously we can get into it all. You can give me your thoughts. You can let me know whether you truly believe that this is it, this is happening, or whether you're a bit like, I'm not 100%. Yeah, someone's saying Molly, right? Can I just point out the elephant in the room or the balloons in the room first of all? I'm not just celebrating the Glazers leaving. It's my oldest 12th birthday yesterday, so that's why we've got this balloon archway there. You probably can't see, but there's a 12 there as well. But yeah, happy days so far. Right, I'll read this statement and then we'll get into the chat and you guys can let me know what you think about everything. So this is on Sky. This isn't a statement, sorry, my bad. It's a sort of a news report by Mark Kleinman, who's a city editor for Sky News, obviously. He says, Manchester United owners sit to explore sale as Glazers seek new investment. The Old Trafford club is close to announcing that its American owners are exploring financial options that could include an outright sale, Sky News learns. Bear with me here because I'm going to read. It's quite a big story, but I want to run through it so we get the full gist. United Football Club could finally be sold by its American owners after a 17-year reign dominated by fan protests and declining on-pitch performance. Sky News can exclusively reveal that the Glazer family is preparing to formally announce its intention to examine potential sources of outside investment that could include a full-blown auction of arguably the world's most famous football club. Sources said on Tuesday that investment bankers were being instructed by United's owners to advise on the process, which is unlikely to include a full or partial sale or strategic partnership with third parties. A statement confirming their intentions could come imminently, one of them said. The announcement of a review of financial options that could include a sale process would signal an end to years of speculation over whether the Glazers might be persuaded to offload a club which, for the past decade, has experienced an almost unmitigated footballing decline. So Sky News have gone pretty big on that there, haven't they? Danny Shields in the super chat. I'll just get to Danny and then we'll get into some of the comments as well. Do you reckon the FSG moves to sell force the Glazers' hand to compete for buyers, Jay? Looking forward to seeing your shiny dome in person in December. Thanks, Danny. Yeah, we've got an event in Dublin on the 30th of December. There should be a link in the description, or if you're not, you can find it. I'll put a link in the chat in a minute. So we want to see you guys down there. If you're in Dublin or you can get over to Dublin, join me. It's going to be me, Stephen Howson, Adam McCullough, Joe Smith, and Brian McClare, a full-blown Manchester United legend. I'll get into that in a minute, though. We want to talk about the Glazers, don't we? Now, there's several things here, or several sides or facets I think have led to this, and I'll go through them and I want to get what you guys think, because I'm by no means an expert, and anyone who watches the channel knows I'm sort of the least financially savvy one amongst us. I don't get the financial machinations behind Manchester United. All I know is we're going to be basic about it. The Glazers have absolutely bled this club dry. They've took the piss. They need to go. I know that much. Now, we've had several things that have happened. The door's been pretty much fully closed on the Super League idea. Yeah, because the Glazers were, for me, looking to hold out because the Super League could still happen. There was talk of the Super League becoming a thing again, but now we hear that that's not happening at all. Vinay Navneet says, wish United had squad depth like France national team. Yeah, I've not seen any of the game. I believe that it's all happening between France and Australia. I'll get to that in a minute. Subankar Parajit says, this feels as good as winning the league. I agree. Yeah, so anyway, the European Super League, which was obviously one of the Glazers had been behind that, not on their own, but with one of the owners behind it, along with the Liverpool owners, along with the I think Barcelona, Real Madrid, Chelsea, City, Juve, I think as well. So there was all these clubs that were involved in it. It was looking like this is going to happen, and then it didn't happen because of us as well. Don't forget, the fans protesting, whether that's online, whether that was at Old Trafford, no matter how you protest against it, the fan reaction ended that. If it wasn't for the fan reaction, you would have had a European Super League. Don't get that twisted. Yeah, the fans played their part. I don't care what anyone says. And that doesn't mean you had to be at Old Trafford on the pitch or whatever protesting, which is, a great way to protest. And some of us were down at Old Trafford. But even if you were online, if you were telling the sponsors or whatever, if you were letting the Glazers know, if you were letting the club know, you're doing your bit, no matter how small you may feel that was, it played a part. So the Super League didn't happen. Right? That was gone. So then there was this idea that it'll come back eventually. And the Glazers saw that as a way to get in a lot of money, because we heard that, I think it was at JP Morgan or whoever it was, we're going to give a few billion towards all these different owners who own the clubs. It was going to be a cash cow. And it was also going to ring fence these clubs in terms of what they had to achieve domestically, because you could finish 15th in your league and still be part of the European Super League. It almost took away your motivation to bother with the Premier League, in my opinion anyway. So that didn't happen at the time. It's not going to happen now. That looks like it's been dead in the water. You saw Chelsea in the summer sell because Roman Abramovich was basically told by the government, you've got to sell, you've got to go because you're tied to Vladimir Putin. They sold, and when they went on the market, people were thinking, all right, Chelsea's a pretty big club. It's not the same size as Manchester United. They went for around, I think, 3.75 billion, which is a lot of money for Chelsea Football Club. And you look at that and you go, okay, they're worth 3.75 billion. What are United worth? Then, as someone in the chat has mentioned, you have this situation at Liverpool now with FSG looking to sell up. They're looking to sell. They're getting people looking to invest or to buy off them. There's money there coming in. So the Glazers are looking at it going, right, Chelsea are getting big money. Liverpool are going to go. Someone could come in for Liverpool, or could potentially come in for us. What are we going to do? We've also got this Super League idea is gone. That's been pretty much ended by the fans. We've still got a protest as well, don't forget, whether it's the 1958 and everyone at the ground, or you've got all of us online letting sponsors know, doing little wars of attrition, little digs, little things that just make life more and more difficult for Manchester United's owners, no matter how small that may seem. Even if it's little things like putting sponsors off. We heard this week that TeamViewer are reviewing their deal with Manchester United because they're not happy with their deal, because they've overspent on it. Manchester United for a sponsor at the minute ain't great. It isn't. And I love Manchester United with all my heart, right? But you look at it, we're not in the Champions League. We've had turmoil in terms of on the pitch over the last 18 months. Erik ten Hag now is getting everything on an even keel. But it hasn't been great, has it? When you look at Ollie getting sacked, Ralph Rangnick coming in, all that other stuff, yeah? So there's that all going on. Off the pitch, you've got fans protesting. You need investment for the stadium. The stadium's falling apart. The Carrington, the training ground, the training ground, it's gone from state-of-the-art to vintage. It's not been redeveloped in 20-odd years. It needs redeveloping. So you've got a stadium that needs investing, a training ground that needs investing, fans that are upset, people protesting, the team's not been doing what it should have been doing. You've not been in the Champions League this season. Sponsors are looking at it going, nah, you're all right. Not for me. And the Glazers will see that. And I think now is it the time to sell. Listen, I'm going to get in some of the super chats and the chats as well, because I don't just want to read super chats. Sebastian Gomez says, Jay and Joe on the case with 2 massive breaking news and a fire alarm to be boot. You guys are second to none. Great job, GGMU. Thanks, Sebastian. You obviously watched my paper talk this morning when the fire alarm interrupted me. I do appreciate that. I appreciate it as well. The fact that you're still watching. I love it when you guys say, oh, watch this morning, this afternoon, and watching tonight as well. It's great to feel like, we're giving you all the updates throughout the day and you're getting involved. Amo Rao says, who knew that Ten Hag's huge plan was to make Ronaldo angry? So he calls out the owners and everyone. Then the Glazers are forced to sell. Erik ten Hag playing 3D chess. I agree. 4D chess, bro. He saw all the angles, didn't he? He said, if I do that, that's going to happen, and that'll do that, and that'll do that. It's all Erik ten Hag doing. Yeah, I'll go with that. Jay Frisconi says, Jay, great job and potentially a great day. I said to the crew last year that I thought the demise of the Super League plans would lead to this day, and it appears close. Let's cross our fingers, GGMU. I think I remember chatting to you a lot, Jay Frisconi. You've been in the chats quite a lot over the last few years. And I think I remember a conversation we may have had on one of the lives. There was a lot of people in the chats the night that the Super League went under, absolutely buzzing. And a lot of people, I think you might be one of them, was saying the same thing. This could be the beginning and the end for the Glazers. It was the end of Ed Woodward, wasn't it? And he was their boy. Yeah. So it looks like it's one of the reasons, and like I've mentioned, that it could be the end of Glazers. I'm going to get in some of the chats. Brian Casey with a great question. What are your thoughts on an all-out auction? Could be bad for us. Right, we had Mark Ogden on the channel the other day, and one thing I'm going to tell you now is I'm going to get Kieran Maguire on, hopefully tomorrow. If not, I'll get him on Thursday or Friday. He writes the Price of Football blog. RD Devils says, love the balloons, Jay. Big up you, my man. Yeah, my daughter's 12th birthday. We've got the balloons up. Mind you, we should just be celebrating the Glazers. But yeah, I'm going to get Kieran Maguire on to explain it and give us his thoughts, because he's literally a football financial expert. He does the Price of Football. An all-out auction could be bad, but what Mark Ogden said was, he said that if you look at Chelsea, you had Jim Ratcliffe, and I'll get to Jim Ratcliffe in a minute because I know he's like flavour of the month for a lot of people, saying, oh, I wouldn't mind buying Chelsea, I could come in with it. Other people saying it. And what ended up happening was a consortium got there. Todd Burley isn't the owner on himself with just his money. He's part of a consortium. He's the head of the consortium. So you get these people, we've got like hedge funds or whatever, putting money together and saying, all right, let's between us all, start consortium and buy a football club, buy Chelsea. That could happen with Manchester United. You could get a consortium. You could get, going back to Brian Casey's question, an all-out auction where the biggest bidder wins. And if that happens, it's probably going to be something like a consortium or a sovereign state, perhaps. Could you have another sovereign state, probably from the Middle East? If you look at the Qataris at PSG, the Saudis at Newcastle, and the lads from the family from Abu Dhabi, is it, who took over City in 2008? That is, if it's going to be someone who's super rich, it could be an oil-rich state. How would you feel about that? I wouldn't like that personally. I wouldn't. I don't want Manchester United to become a sports washing exercise. Vinay Navneet says, I hope the new owners don't get rid of Ten Hag like the Chelsea owners did, wanting new managers to suit them too far in the future anyway. I think if the new owners came in and said that they wanted to change the manager, then there'd be riots. Honestly, I'm not advocating violence. I'm just saying I think you see protests like nothing like it. I think people love what Erik Ten Hag is trying to do. Get involved in the chat in the comments. Let us know if you think I'm wrong. But I think they do. I think they like what he's trying to do. And I think that if he was to get the new owners were to come in and get rid of him, it'd be a disaster. I think someone's mentioned Elon Musk. IR says, lol, Musk won't go. Oh, I've lost that. Sorry, guys. Musk won't go anywhere near it. Thank God would make me stop supporting the club. Listen, if you've seen his takeover at Twitter, the last thing we need is Elon Musk getting involved in Manchester United. It's like he's with Twitter. It's like he's almost trying to run it into the ground, isn't it? I mean, I didn't know a lot about Elon Musk a couple of years ago. I thought he didn't do electric cars or something. And then now all of a sudden, it's like he's everywhere and he's bought Twitter and it's a bit of a disaster. So, yeah, I'm not so sure I'm a big fan of Elon Musk, to be honest with you. Get involved in the comments and let us know what you think. I want to hear what you guys are thinking. I'm going to do a little update. The breaking news is Manchester United Football Club, according to Sky News and everywhere else, it's everywhere now, could finally be sold by its American owners after a 17-year reign of dominated by fan protests and a declining on-pitch performance. That's coming from Sky News. The top headline is Manchester United owners to explore sale as Glazers seek new investment. The Old Trafford club is close to announcing that its American owners are exploring financial options that could include an outright sale, Sky News learns. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's going to be an outright sale? Do you want an outright sale? Is there anyone out there that thinks it'd be bad for the Glazers to sell? Is the one where you look at it and go, that sounds a ridiculous question, right? But you might go, listen, I hate the Glazers, but I don't want us being owned by such and such a body, by such and such a state. Let me know. Let me know what you think. We've also, as well, we'll touch on it briefly because I've not had a chance to chat to you guys about it because I was on doing a radio thing this afternoon, talking balls, standing in for Gaz Drinkwater on Radio Manchester when the news broke about Ronaldo. So obviously Joe Smith did the live on the channel. So I've not really spoken about Ronaldo and the fact that he's leaving now. He's left. Sorry, he's not leaving. He's gone, hasn't he? The announcement by the club, mutual agreement. He's obviously given a statement as well. Yeah, I think that's for the best, to be honest with you, just to touch on it briefly. He's obviously done what beat United. After that interview with Piers Morgan, his position was untenable. So, see you later. Sorry to say it's ended like that. Sorry to say again, it's Miser. Sorry it's ended like that, but that's how it had to end, in it. You couldn't carry on after that interview. Alex Belton says, think CR7, buys United, sacks Erik Ten Hag, and puts himself as player, manager, owner. Imagine that. Imagine. Cristiano Ronaldo, player, manager, owner. Andy Bonner says, Jim Ratcliffe for me. Jim Ratcliffe seems like the popular choice amongst most United fans I chat to. They say, oh, Jim Ratcliffe, get Jim Ratcliffe in. Now, I like what I hear about Jim Ratcliffe in terms of the fact he's sort of a Mancunian born and bred who's a United fan. I don't think you have to be from Manchester to buy Manchester United, but the fact that he's a boy United fan. When I've seen interviews with him, he seems to know a little bit about football, what he's talking about. Hit the like button, by the way. Hit the like, man. Come on. The Glazers could be going. Smash a like, as they say. So Jim Ratcliffe seems like a popular choice. I don't know a lot about his business dealings or anything. I don't think you get nice billionaires, do you, who do everything all warm and cuddly. And you think, oh, his business practices are so amazing. He's such a benevolent billionaire. There might be something where you look at him and what he's done in the past and go, Jim Ratcliffe ain't great. But would he be better than the Glazers? I think so. I think he understands football better than the Glazers do. I mean, saying that, I think my 5-year-old understands football better than the Glazers do. Mike Wilson says, I'd say United must be worth 6 to 7 billion, including debt. We don't need a state to own us. We can be self-sufficient. Good point. Someone's been on the Joe85 says, great news, Jay. Christmas has come early. I think you're right, bro. I really think it has. Do you know what I mean? Christmas has come early. The Glazers could be going. I may say could because I don't want to say they're definitely going. But you'll have to wait and see. That event I spoke about in Dublin, I've put a link in the chat there. All 4 Paddock presenters, myself, Adam McCullough, Joe Smith, Stephen Howson, and Brian McClare in Dublin on the 30th of December. Come and join us for our live event. I want to see you guys getting involved just after Christmas, obviously. It'd be great to see you guys at our first ever line event. Oh, look at that, 1958 people watching. Hit that like button. Come on. I want to get to 1,000 likes. The Glazers are going. I remember when the Super League ended and I said, if we get 10,000 likes, I'll go down Old Trafford. And I ended up going down Old Trafford because we had 10,000 likes. David Garner says, Chelsea 4.2 sets the bar. United with its debt, I'd imagine 5 billion. Liverpool 500 quid. I like that. Blake IR says, Jay, please tell me you have a glazed out cake behind the camera to go with the balloons. Yeah, I'm going to get one. Don't you worry about that. Get them likes up, people, says Dino Lewis. Yep, I agree. Mega K says, want to sell Stretford Paddock FC and buy United. I don't own Stretford Paddock FC. I think Steve runs that and he's done it like a share ownership scheme, 100 plus notes. So I think there's like all the shares or all the parts of the club are owned by different fans of Stretford Paddock FC. I don't think there is one owner who owns more than anyone else, which is a great way of doing things, really, to be honest with you. Maybe United could be fan owned one day. Yeah, birthday says Nick Tiger. Oh wait, yep. It's my daughter's my oldest birthday yesterday. DB Cooper says, Jay, you're in a very romantic studio today. Yep. My daughter's 12th birthday yesterday, hence the balloons. But the balloons should be up because the Glazers look like they're fucking off. And I, for one, I'm over the moon about that. I'm a little bit cautiously optimistic. We'll wait and see what happens. I'll be back in the morning with the paper talk. I expect to see all you lot, you, in this chat, joining me for a live tomorrow morning, 10:30. We'll go live. We'll chat about this. We'll chat about Ronaldo, and we'll have any updates as well. So make sure you are getting involved. Don't forget as well, if you're not doing already, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. We want to get up to 700,000 subscribers, and with your support, we can do it. It looks like the Glazers could be on their way out. That is the update. That is the latest breaking news we have had. We've heard it from reputable sources, including Sky News, that Glazers are looking to sell Manchester United, potentially all of Manchester United as well, and move on. And that for me would be, that'd be like, feel like 99 all over again. Seriously. We'll have to wait and see what happens. So don't want to get too carried away and say this is it. But Ronaldo left today. You might be a little bit sad about that. I think it was for the best. But the Glazers going. What a day to be a United fan. That is amazing, isn't it? Glazers could be going. Listen, thanks. I've had a great chat with you all. I appreciate everyone getting involved in the conversation and the comments. Dino Lewis. I'm going to bang one out. Fuck it, lol. Love that. Right. Listen, back in the morning. Make sure you join us 10:30 tomorrow. We'll be chatting more about the Glazers and everything else. I've been Jay Motti. This has been Stretford Paddock. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Looks like the Glazers could be out. Thanks for watching.